is Annique Francois from Annique Reads and Writes. So today I'm going to do a book review about, for this book, Beloved by Toni Morrison. She won a Pulitzer Prize for this book. And so, yeah, I'm going to just talk about it and one of those books that you need to read like at least 2 or 3 times to like grasp everything that's going on. But today I'll just talk about some of the things that I did get and the things I did like about this book. So, just a very short summary. I'm not gonna go into too much detail when it comes to like spoilers and stuff like that. But the main protagonist is it's really the story of Sethe, who was born enslaved as her plantation, the Sweet Home Plantation, which is kind of an ironic name. But she escaped to Ohio, where she found a new, like life became a little bit better, but it's really wasn't like it was the story took place like right after emancipation, so it wasn't like life was great for like any black person or ex-slave or anything like that. But the story is that she has these 4 children, and so when she realized that they were about to be taken from her, because back then when slaves had babies, the babies didn't belong to them, they belonged to their slave masters. They can sell them, they can separate them, whatever they want. So she knew that her children was going to be like all of her children were going to be suffering from that same fate. So instead of letting that happen, she decided to drop them. And so this story is actually based on a true story. And if I can find the New York Times article that the story is based on, I will link it down below. But yes, it is like based on a true story. There really was a woman who drowned her baby because she didn't want the baby to be like sold into slavery. And it also happened like really close to the time where slaves would be freed. So you can imagine like what that would mean to somebody who just killed your child to save them from slavery, and then really soon after that slavery was like ended. So I think that would that really affected Sethe as well. I think she carried a lot of guilt and a lot of it's part of what made her like, I think that's part of what made the baby who was sacrificed or killed is called Beloved. And the only thing is that there's a tombstone that has her name on it. And so when Beloved moved into the new house in Ohio, so the house was haunted by many ghosts, and so one of the ghosts that it became really haunted by was Beloved. So it was very hard at first to like kind of picture that a baby who was like 2 years old, when they die, would come back as like a grown person to like haunt their parents. So at first, like it was kind of me wondering like, is this a dream or is this real? So that was something like that I kind of had to grasp, because there's a lot of like magical realism. There's a lot of religion in this book. So so it's like so what I want to talk about, like I'll just go from point to point, like what stuck out to me the most and what I really want to discuss. The first thing that I want to discuss is like, I think that what really, really, really broke Sethe was the fact that she couldn't breastfeed her baby. Like she kept saying that they stole my baby's milk. They stole my baby's milk. And that was because she couldn't breastfeed her babies because, you know, she had to go back to work, or it was because she had to nurse the white babies. So while her baby starved, she's like feeding the white babies, and I think that really like affected her, and understandably, it made her feel, you know, like it made her like really just broke her, like, you know, because I think that's what she kept going back to, that like when she just would say like they stole my baby's milk. So that is something that like I fully understand. Like it just wouldn't make sense that, you know, you having your own child is like you have to watch them suffer, um, you know, get be malnourished, or your milk, the milk that was meant for your, or it was because she had to nurse the white baby. So while her baby starved, she's like feeding the white babies, and I think that really like affected her, and understandably, it made her feel, you know, like it made her like really just broke her, like, you know, because I think that's what she kept going back to, that like when she just would say like they stole my baby's milk. So that is something that like I fully understand. Like it just wouldn't make sense that, you know, you having your own child is like you have to watch them suffer, um, you know, get be malnourished, or your milk, the milk that was meant for your baby, is just being stolen, like to feed another baby. So yeah, I think throughout the book, like that really like affected her, and, you know, affected her psyche, psychologically, and everything. When it comes to like drowning the baby, it's something that like, you know, with the circumstances, I'm not saying that like I agree with it, or um, that I would have done the same thing, but like I think I understand it. I understand that it was like what she was doing was out of love, and there are some other people like I want to talk about later on who did things, you know, out of love that were not like, that was very hard and painful for them. Um, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But yes, I think that they all played a role in how, you know, Beloved behaved, and how she was able to like really stay and haunt this house, and the, you know, and haunt her, because, you know, Sethe wanted her there. Like she wanted her mother. Beloved wanted to be with her mother, but I think that Sethe wanted her to stay just as bad, because she carried a lot of guilt, um, and a lot of frustration about what she did. So it made sense that, you know, um, she would, you know, react the way that she did with Beloved. Like it was like she really, um, I don't know, she kind of like for a while just really focused like all her energy, and um, you know, everything like with on Beloved, and like neglected everybody else in her life, which became a problem. Um, so another thing that I want to talk about is like Beloved. So after reading this book, I don't really know what to think about Beloved. Um, I don't know if she's evil, if she's not evil. Like it's kind of hard to really make up my mind about her. Like because I could understand that, you know, she wants revenge, or she wants her mother. She wants her mother to herself. But there are some of the actions that she, you know, she did in this book that I really, it's kind of hard to like think of her as like the innocent, you know, victim in this case. Like for example, um, seducing her mother's husband, like Paul B. They did, you know, I think, you know, that was like just, I don't know, just out of line. Like it was, it's not something that like a nice person would do, you know. And then by the end of the day of the book, to when the way she made her mother, her own mother, suffer, and to the point where they had to like do really like the second exorcism with like all the church ladies and stuff. It was like I think she made her mother suffer. She wanted her mother to suffer as well. Um, but maybe she didn't want to, truly hurt her mother, but she wanted like revenge. She wanted to feel some type of um, I don't know. She wanted to feel, love, I guess, by her mother, and she wanted her mother like all to herself. So after reading that, like I don't really know what to think feel of it at this point. So I'll just leave it for maybe my second read of the book to see if I can understand her a little bit more. There is so many different like perspectives and different stories in this book. That okay, so another thing that I want to talk about that kind of confused me a little bit are the white people in this book. So, so there are, this took place like right after slavery. So of course there are a lot of really bad white people, racist people, like who are lynching and killing black men, particularly for no reason. But there were also like good white people who were anti-slavery, who were who were nice sometimes even to black people, but at the same time, these people, it's like they were not, like they were anti-slavery or abolitionists, but they were not. That doesn't mean that they saw black people as their equals. Like they still, made black people like staying in the back of the line, like the black ladies. They still had to wait until the white women bought, the food and whatever from the stores before the black women could go in and get them. So it was, I mean, like it's just very real to read that, like to see this is how it was back then, and unfortunately still is today, where some people still have those feelings. So, but yeah, that was like really a lot to think about, when it comes to the white people, and to see, okay, so who can we trust? Like one minute, you know, one minute like a white person is being nice and saying, and like, but they didn't also defend a lot of the time the black people, like, yeah, there was a lynching, and I feel like, I don't know, it was hard to read. Um, so another aspect of the characters that I really wanted to talk about are the black men as well. Um, yeah, so it was. I don't think the black men were completely, portrayed as like powerless, because there's a really really big power in between Sethe and Paul's relationship. They they found each other, like they were separated for like 18 years, and they were able to like come together, and he just loved her so much, the way that he so yeah. And then there's another character, really, his name was Johnny, and his wife, he also had to make a sacrifice to his wife, where he actually, um, like his wife was a beautiful woman, and she kept being used by the slave master, and whenever like they had a baby, like the baby would come out really light skinned, and it was obviously not his. So like, I imagine that's like extremely hard for a man to watch. But what I also like about it is that like they accepted the children, like even though like the black man, they knew that the kid wasn't his, like that didn't make make him treat the children like any different. So I think that takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to do. Um, so yeah, when it came to the Shani character, he decided to break his wife's neck and like kill her, which is a horrible thing to do. But at the same time, when you think about it, like his wife was being constantly raped and used, so it was like that was the only way that he could protect her, because what else would he be able to do at that time? Like, so yeah, minimize and history books and stuff that a lot of people just don't know or don't understand how brutal it was and what these people had to go through. But yeah, but this book really showed how like the reality of it, and just everything that slavery was just brutal, and it made people do things that is inexplicable. It made people um, just do what they had to do. So yeah, that's my take on it. It's like it's just a really really good book, and I recommend that anybody who's interested in reading books about when it like that era, like when there was a lot of racial divide and racial tension, and just want to try to understand some of the things that was going on at that time. I think this is a really good book to read. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Like there are a lot of things that I didn't talk about. I didn't talk about just Sethe's background, the family, Mama Should. Like just there's a lot. Like I mean, yeah, Baby Should. So yeah, I'm gonna just stop right there. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you, and I hope you like and subscribe. If you read this book, if you've read it, I would love to know what your thoughts on it are. So, and I look forward to like reading it again, and then maybe doing a second like discussion about it to see, um, when anything new that I've learned. So, thank you for watching. All right, bye bye.